There is an animal that does not age.
None at all.
And I don't mean like it ages well or, it ages slowly. I mean, it literally does not age.
It's completely wild.
Well, like a 2-year-old version of this animal and a 30-year-old version of this animal are biologically exactly the same. Same strength, same fertility.
The exact same odds of dying tomorrow as it had on, like, day one.
Let that just sink in for a second.
It totally breaks the rules of biology.
It really does. So welcome to this deep dive. We are so excited you're here. I'm practically vibrating right now because of this research.
You've been talking about it all week.
I literally cannot stop. We've gone through decades of field studies, underground ecosystems in East Africa, just tons of data. And our mission today is to completely rewrite how you think about getting old.
And, the animal holding all these secrets? It's not some majestic glowing jellyfish.
No, it is a hairless, extremely wrinkly rodent that basically looks like a thumb with teeth.
A very angry, overcooked bratwurst.
Yes, a bratwurst with giant buck teeth for shoveling dirt. It is the naked mole rat.
The naked mole rat.
And look, going through the source material, it feels less like biology and more like, I don't know, a sci-fi movie. Like we're studying an alien.
Right, because it forces you to question this thing we all just accept. We think getting older and, breaking down is just a law of physics.
Yeah, like gravity. You just get old.
Exactly. But the data on the naked mole rat proves that aging is actually just a biological habit. And this animal was just like, yeah, no thanks. I'm not doing that.
So to really get how insane this is, we have to look at their size, right?
Yeah.
Because there's a rule in nature, tiny things die fast.
Right, the whole live fast, die young thing.
Exactly. If you have a tiny body and a fast heartbeat, you burn out. A regular mouse lives, 2 or 3 years tops?
2 or 3 years is pushing it for a wild mouse, yeah. Their biological clock is basically running a sprint.
Right. But naked mole rats, they are the exact same size and weight as a regular mouse. You could, hold one in the palm of your hand. But they live past 30 years.
It's unbelievable.
30. That's 10 times longer than they should. I was trying to put this into perspective earlier, and it's like, okay, imagine you get a hamster for your 10th birthday.
Okay.
And that exact same hamster is still alive and aggressively running on its wheel at your kid's wedding.
Oh my gosh, that paints a picture.
It's creepy, right?
Very. And the researchers actually tracked this one mole rat in a lab in Texas. They call him Old Man.
Old Man, I love that.
Yeah, and he lived to be 32. And the crazy part isn't just the number, it's the math of how he got there. For humans, and, almost every other mammal, your risk of dying doubles every 8 years or so after you hit adulthood.
Because you get fragile.
Right. You get slower, your bones get weak, your body stops fixing mistakes.
But the researchers tracked these mole rats for years, and their risk of dying, it's just a flat line.
Completely flat.
Wait, so if a 30-year-old is exactly as strong and energetic as a 2-year-old, does that mean they are basically immortal teenagers until, a snake eats them?
That is functionally exactly what they are.
Immortal teenagers.
Basically, they reach young adulthood, and their body just hits pause. They don't fade out of old age. When they die, it's almost always an accident. A tunnel collapses, or they get into a fight, or, a snake finds them.
Okay, so if they aren't dying of old age, what about the other stuff? Like the thing that breaks down almost everything else, cancer.
Right. The great equalizer.
Because, 1 in 3 humans will get cancer?
More than 1 in 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And for lab mice, which are the same size as mole rats, over half of them get tumors.
Over half. But then researchers looked at over 2,500 naked mole rats for decades.
And out of all those thousands of animals, they found cancer. Let me guess, 0. Well, almost 0. It was just a tiny, tiny handful of cases, like single digits out of thousands.
That is effectively a superpower. How?
It's brilliant, honestly. It comes down to this heavy-duty jelly.
Heavy-duty jelly?
Yeah. It's a massive, long-chain version of a molecule called hyaluronan.
Wait, like hyaluronic acid? Like the stuff in my skin serum?
The exact same stuff. You use it to keep your skin plump, but the naked mole rat produces this crazy industrial-strength version of it, and they don't just put it in their skin.
Where does it go?
They pump it into all the empty space inside their bodies, between all their internal cells.
Ew. So they're basically filled with syrup.
Essentially, yes.
Yeah.
It makes their tissue incredibly dense. And if you think about what a tumor is, it's just a rogue cell that starts dividing and taking over space.
Right. It needs room to grow.
But because the mole rat's cells are glued together so tightly with this thick jelly, there is physically Zero elbow room for a bad cell to multiply.
Oh, wow. So it's like their body is a bouncer at a club, and bouncer is just like, sorry, the club is at capacity, nobody else gets in.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's like trying to throw a wild party in a packed closet. The physical pressure of the jelly actually sends a mechanical signal to the cell saying, stop, there's no room.
But wait, if their cells are packed so tight with jelly that they literally can't divide, how do they heal?
What do you mean?
Like if I get a scrape, my body makes new skin cells to heal it. If the mole rat cells can't divide because of the jelly, shouldn't a tiny scratch just, like, never heal?
Oh, that's the genius part of the system.
Okay.
When they actually get hurt, the body releases a special enzyme right at the site of the wound. It temporarily melts the jelly.
Are you kidding me?
Nope. It melts the jelly locally, the cells quickly divide to fix the cut, and then once it's healed, the body pumps the heavy-duty jelly right back in and locks it down.
That is unbelievable. It's a smart armor.
And human doctors are literally studying this right now, trying to see if we can copy this exact trick to stop human tumors from spreading.
Which is incredible. But, okay, I was thinking about this. If your body is packed that densely and you live underground in a sealed dirt tube with, like, 300 other animals...
Well, the oxygen problem.
Yes. They must just breathe up all the air instantly.
They live in one of the most hostile environments imaginable. The tunnels are basically completely depleted of oxygen.
And for context, humans, and basically all mammals, we get permanent brain damage in, what, 3 or 4 minutes without air?
3 to 4 minutes, yes.
Yeah.
Oxygen is the key that unlocks energy in our cells.
But a naked mole rat can survive for 18 minutes with absolutely zero oxygen.
18 minutes.
And they don't get brain damage. They just wake up and shake it off.
Because they don't just hold their breath. They actually switch fuel tanks.
This part broke my brain. Walk me through the sugar thing.
Right. So normally, mammals burn regular sugar glucose for energy. And that specific chemical fire needs oxygen to burn.
Makes sense.
But when the air in the tunnel runs out, the mole rat just seamlessly switches to burning a completely different sugar, fructose.
Which is plant sugar.
Exactly. The same sugar plants use.
Wait, what? They literally switched to plant sugar. Are we looking at, like, a meat plant hybrid on low battery mode?
Kind of. In normal digestion, there's this specific bottleneck that shuts down when oxygen drops. But fructose bypasses that bottleneck entirely. They pump these special fructose transporters into their brain and heart, and they just keep the lights on without air.
So they basically switch from the main power grid to a solar generator the second the power goes out.
Yes, and while they do that, they power down. Their heart rate drops from 200 beats a minute all the way down to 50.
Just totally chilling out while suffocating.
They become completely still, barely burning any energy, just waiting for the air to come back. And again, doctors are studying this exact switchover mechanism for stroke victims.
Because strokes are all about oxygen starvation in the brain.
Right, exactly. If we can figure out how to trigger that dormant plant sugar pathway in humans during a stroke, we might be able to prevent brain damage entirely.
It's wild that the cure for this stuff might be hiding inside a weird potato rat.
Wow.
And we have to talk about the chili peppers.
The pain resistance, yeah.
They feel absolutely zero pain from acid or chili peppers.
Right, the wiring just isn't there.
Like if you poured acid on them, they literally wouldn't flinch.
Well, because their tunnels are so crowded, the carbon dioxide buildup creates this intensely acidic environment. A normal mammal's skin would feel like it was constantly on fire down there.
So the mole rat was just like, you know what? Unplug the alarm.
Literally. They lack the specific neurological wiring to feel chemical burns. The physical damage might happen, but the brain never gets the email.
Okay, so up to this point, they sound like biological superheroes. They beat aging, they beat cancer, they can breathe without air, they feel no pain.
Very majestic.
You'd think they are these enlightened beings, but their actual society, it is pure, dark, gothic horror.
It is so brutal.
Okay, so picture this. They are pale, they have no hair, they completely avoid the sun, and they have those giant fangs.
Which are actually on the outside of their lips, so they don't get mud in their mouths when they dig.
Aesthetically, they are fangs, and they live in these massive colonies of up to 300, but it is not a democracy.
No, it's a tyranny. They are ruled by exactly one queen.
One queen out of 300. And she is the only female allowed to have babies.
It's a social structure we usually only see in bugs, like ants or bees.
Yeah, and she doesn't keep control by, like, asking nicely. She actively bullies everyone into being her loyal workers.
She physically shoves them. She just walks all over them in the tunnels.
And it's chemical warfare, right?
Right. The constant physical bullying stresses the workers out so much that their bodies flood with cortisol. And that stress hormone physically suppresses their reproductive systems.
So her bullying literally makes them infertile.
Exactly. She keeps them as her stressed out, loyal little subjects.
But the craziest part, the twist that made me literally text you at midnight, is what happens when she dies.
Oh, the succession.
Because she doesn't name an heir. When the queen dies, the stress hormones drop, and the biggest females just start fighting for the crown.
Often to the death. It is a subterranean Game of Thrones.
But whoever wins, the winner doesn't just get a crown, she undergoes a physical mutation.
Her skeleton actually changes.
Wait, hold on. I need everyone to process this. Her actual spine stretches and lengthens, bone by bone.
The sudden rush of reproductive hormones triggers new bone growth. Her vertebrae physically pull apart, and new bone fills the gaps.
Because she won a fight. That's not biology. That is a magical curse. She levels up like a video game boss.
She goes from a normal worker to this massive, elongated baby-making factory. She gets big enough to carry up to 30 pups at once.
She turns into a giant just because she asserted dominance.
It's pure vampire dynasty behavior.
Painy, pale, sun-hating, fanged vampires living in the dirt, lengthening their spines in the dark, and ruling for decades, untouched by time.
It really humbles you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We think we are the pinnacle of evolution, and here's this weird little creature that already solved everything we were spending billions trying to figure out.
Seriously. And, I want to bring all this chaotic vampire stuff back down to earth for a second, because when you strip away how funny they look, it's actually really profound. Picture this for me. Somewhere right now, deep underground in East Africa, in total, absolute darkness, there is a naked mole rat that is older than you are.
Wow, yeah.
It has been digging those exact same dirt tunnels for 30 years.
And it has never felt its joints ache.
Never. It's never slowed down. It's never looked in the mirror. Well, it's blind, but you know what I mean. It has never felt old.
Just vibrating with permanent youth.
Exactly. And while that blind, wrinkly little creature lives totally untouched by time down in the dirt, we humans are up here in the sunlight spending billions of dollars building entire industries just to figure out its secrets.
Desperate for what it has naturally.
Right. But here's the thought I really want to leave you with today. Think about the conditions that actually created this animal's immortality.
Total darkness.
Suffocating dirt tubes, packed shoulder to shoulder with hundreds of others, constantly bullied by a literal tyrant, surviving on almost no oxygen and massive amounts of stress.
It adapted to the most punishing environment possible by becoming unbreakable.
That's exactly. Unbreakable through stress. Meanwhile, we humans are trying to cure aging by seeking lives of perfect comfort, low stress, maximum convenience, green juice.
Right.
What if the key to unlocking immortality isn't in a shiny lab or a luxury wellness retreat? What if it actually requires the exact kind of inescapable, profound environmental stress that we spend our entire lives trying to avoid?
That is a very haunting thought.
Let that sit with you.